Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has issued an ultimatum: resume the transit of Russian gas or compensate Slovakia for the loss, estimated at around 500 million euros. This demand comes in response to Ukraine's decision to cease Russian gas transit starting January 1, 2025. Fico warned of retaliatory measures if his demands are not met.
On behalf of Direction Social Democracy, I announce that we are ready to negotiate within the coalition to halt electricity supplies and significantly reduce support for Ukrainian citizens residing in the Slovak Republic.
Slovakia accounts for 19% of Ukraine's electricity imports. In response, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called Fico's threats a directive from Putin to open a second energy front at the expense of the Slovak people. He reminded that Ukraine has been reluctant on electricity imports after Russia seized the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and launched ongoing attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure.
We remind Fico that, firstly, supporting criminal Russian aggression is absolutely immoral. Secondly, Fico's short-sighted policy has already left the people of Slovakia without compensation for the loss of Russian gas transit and may also leave the people of Slovakia without at least $200 million annually, which Ukraine pays for imported electricity. Any arbitrary decisions in Bratislava or orders from Moscow to Fico regarding electricity will not lead to a halt in electricity imports to Ukraine, but they could definitely lead to a break between the current Slovak government and the European community. Vladimir Zelensky, president of Ukraine, on social network X.
Meanwhile, Politico reported that Fico's blackmail attempt has failed. The gas crisis predicted by the Slovak Prime Minister as a result of the cessation of Russian gas transit to Europe via Ukraine did not happen.
While bills might rise slightly, traders had already priced in the end of the transit agreement, and the German government's decision to end gas transit fees on supplies being shipped to Central Europe will help avoid a sharp cost spike. Instead, though, Fico will miss out on income earned by shipping Russian gas on to its neighbors, with state-owned energy firm SPP set to lose out on tens of millions of euros in transit fees. Fico's increasingly desperate efforts to keep the profitable loophole open have driven yet another wedge between him and fellow EU leaders, writes Politico.
Experts believe Fico's actions are not about protecting Slovakia's national interests, but about fulfilling Putin's objectives.
In reality, Europe has long diversified its energy sources to mitigate risks associated with supply disruptions or cancellations. Over 3 years of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, this issue has been resolved. What Fico is doing is creating a scandal. Slovakia, like other EU countries, has already found alternatives, but Fico's goal is to preserve gas transit, which primarily benefits Russia.
Previously, Bloomberg reported that Poland is prepared to increase electricity exports to Ukraine if Slovakia cuts off its backup energy supply. The Polish government could ramp up domestic production to compensate for any imbalance in Ukraine's energy system. Reported by Katerina Bastun, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.